You will be seeing on my Patriot site new knee pads that I'll be sending out, the new signature series knee pads for all these CEOs, for the University of Virginia that I'll add to the list today, for bending their knee.
All right, guys, we did it again. We made it through another entire week. Was the week a bit crazy? Of course. Was the administration out of control? Absolutely. But the No Kings protests were an overwhelming success, and I do think that this administration is crapping the bed right now because they know that what they are doing is unpopular. Donald Trump has now been in office for only 39 weeks, which means he's got 169 weeks left to go. And of course, if you are counting down those days, it is 1,183 days until hopefully this nightmare comes to an end. Now, of course, we have made it to the Weekly Roundup, which is the part in the week where we gather up a whole bunch of different clips that don't necessarily touch on any particular topic, but it kind of gives us a way to catch up on anything we may have missed, and normally we get to have a laugh or two as well. Now, before we go ahead and jump right into it today, guys, I want to do something that I don't normally do. I just want to plug the channel really quick, so don't forget to smash that like button, hit subscribe if I am bringing value to your news consumption diet, and most of all, don't forget that I've joined the Unfuck America Tour. You can actually hit the link in my bio in the description below. There, you can buy tickets to our upcoming event down in Phoenix in December. You can donate to the tour and actually help me make it to that event, which would be greatly appreciated, or you can sign up to volunteer. You can help with the behind-the-scenes types things if you are not necessarily a content creator. So every little bit helps, guys, and as I will continue to say, this has got to be a team effort when we are fighting back against the authoritarian takeover. So without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and jump right into our first clip. Now, if Mitch McConnell wasn't such a Satan spawn, I might have a little bit of sympathy for the guy, but let's take a look at his, 700th fall this year?
My name is Stella. I want to ask, do you support ICE taking working people off the streets and kidnapping them?
What did he even say? Now, I'm not one to just go around laughing at old folks because they just ate shit. Like I said, Mitch McConnell's kind of a special case because he is a Satan spawn that has done untold damage to this country. But the reason that I really play this clip and the reason that I wanted to talk about it is because our leaders in Congress right now are not showing true leadership. Mitch McConnell should have retired, years ago, at least? And we can see it on both sides of the aisle, whether it's Democrat or Republican. We are living in a gerontocracy at this point. None of these people want to relinquish any of the power, and therefore, a lot of these people end up dying in office, and it puts the Democrats, especially over the past couple of years, in a really tough spot. If these people were showing true leadership, they would resign. They would step down. I mean, if you look at the business community, all of these powerful CEOs have to have some sort of succession plan lined up. Why isn't that the case for these Congress people? I think it's an absolute travesty that these people are just dying off in office when it doesn't need to happen. If they wanted to show true leadership, step your ass down and let some younger people come in and compete for that spot. That's all I got to say about that. Let's go ahead and move on to this clip, guys, because this one is quite disturbing, and it's something that we've been seeing more and more of in this Republican Party, the Republican Party that has been consumed by the MAGA movement. Let's go ahead and take a look.
The institution of slavery is not inherently evil. I know. Some of you guys are upset by that. Some of you guys are saying, I've been saying that for years. Okay, I'll take it a step further. It is not inherently evil to own another human being. I know, just wait. Some of you guys are really upset, but let's talk through this because it is very important that every Christian affirm what I just said. And not only should they affirm it, every Christian in today's society should be able to defend what I just said.
I mean, it's just absolutely grotesque. This is Joshua Hames, a pastor, a far-right pastor, but the reason I have such a problem with this guy in particular is because Pete Hegseth, our Department of Defense, goes to his church, is associated with this guy. And he's talking about slavery, the institution of slavery, not being a very bad thing. Owning another individual is not inherently bad. Now, just because the Bible may have had slavery in it, doesn't mean that it is a good thing. When you are taking ownership of another human, that is inherently abusive. You are taking away their autonomy. So I don't know where the fuck these people are getting this from, but we are seeing it crop up more and more and more and more. Like the most heinous shit we have heard come out in the past month? We saw one of Trump's nominees said he has a Hitler streak. We saw the Young Republicans group chat get leaked, and they had some wild things to say that should never be in the halls of power. But I feel like this MAGA movement, like I continue to say, is an extremist movement. And more and more and more, it seems to be demonstrated that the Nick Fuentes types appear to be, grabbing a stronghold in the movement, even though somebody like Nick Fuentes has actually come out and spoken out against Donald Trump. I don't know exactly what is going on here, but they continue to ratchet up the extremism, and these are the people who are currently running our country. It is no good people, and we need to keep an eye on it. We need to speak out against this shit because it does not portend good things for this country if these are the people who are in charge. Now let's go ahead and move on to JD Vance, who again is giving, well, I won't say again, but he's giving a political speech in front of the military. This is unacceptable.
And of course, Marines, I bring greetings today from our Commander-in-Chief, Donald J. Trump, and he wanted me to tell each and every single one of you that he's proud of you, that he loves you, and that despite the Schumer shutdown, he is going to do everything he can to make sure you get paid exactly as you deserve.
Again, guys, in times past, this would have been unthinkable. If a Democrat stood in front of the military and gave an overtly political speech, they probably would have been impeached. This is just not something that we want our government officials doing, because our military is an institution that is supposed to protect all Americans. We do not want partisan bullshit interfering with our military members. And to have the vice president of the United States standing in front of this crowd of military individuals, and I don't even know, they're sitting there chanting, which is also quite chilling, but what are we doing here? This should not be happening. This MAGA movement is trying to corrupt the institution of the military, and they've already done a pretty good job so far. We see Pete Hegseth, who is running the Department of Defense. He is going out and giving insane, unhinged speeches about beards and how fat people shouldn't be. All of this is going on. We have military generals stepping down, and now they're blowing individuals out of the water down in Venezuela. They are summarily executing people, and there seems to be not a care in the world. I mean, that one general who was kind of controlling that region stepped down, but where is the other pushback? Where is the evidence that that these people are trying to bring harm on America by trafficking drugs into this country? That there is no evidence. I mean, and we even had 2 survivors of one of these boat strikes, and we repatriated them to their own countries, which tells me that there was no evidence to charge these individuals. This is what our military is doing today. We have become the villains because of this MAGA movement. We are no longer the good guys doing good things around the world, and it is a damn shame. Now, let's go ahead and move on to Sean Duffy, because, these people are they're just the biggest pearl clutchers that you ever did see. Let's see what he has to say real quick.
By the way, this weekend, Democrats at the DNC in D.C., they had a rooftop party. So they're drinking wine and beer and hard alcohol, partying during a shutdown, all the while you have other workers going to work, working overtime, and not getting paid for it. It shows how out of touch Democrats truly are with what the priorities are.
Boo! Hoo! Hoo! I mean, give me a break. Republicans have not been willing to come to the negotiating table to figure out what we are going to do about the Affordable Care Act subsidies. That is why the government is shut down, because Republicans are unwilling to listen to the other side. And as we've been over time and time and time again on this channel, it is the Republicans' obligations to keep this government open because they control the House, the Senate, and the presidency. And if they need a handful of Democratic votes to get their things across the finish line, well, then they are going to need to negotiate with Democrats to get it done. So Sean Duffy here can spare me the bullshit. It is your party that is the obstacle to keeping this, or to getting this government back open. Donald Trump wants nothing to do with the Democrats. Republicans are playing games. They're not even swearing in somebody who has been democratically elected down in Arizona. And for you to jump up on Fox News and cry like a little baby back bitch, I mean, spare me. Just spare me. Now, speaking of pearl clutching, here's Laura Ingraham, kind of trying to stand up for Stephen Miller because Robert De Niro said something that they didn't like.
We're way beyond irresponsible, okay? This is, and I think it's libelous because it's malice. There's real malice, and he knows it's not true. Okay, so it's malice. He knows it's not true.
Yeah.
I think there's a possibility for a lawsuit here. I don't think people should get away with this.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think it's dangerous, especially in this environment.
Just imagine being Laura Ingraham, who goes out on Fox News every evening spreading propaganda for Donald Trump and his MAGA movement. You've got Donald Trump calling everybody under the sun the most heinous things, saying that, political violence might be okay against certain individuals. Second Amendment people might be able to take care of that. Oh, beat the hell out. And then Laura Ingraham has the gall to come out and say, well, maybe Stephen Miller should sue Robert De Niro because he called him a Nazi. So of Stephen Miller, of all people, you're going to try to make that argument? Really? Really, Laura? We've got Stephen Miller right now running who knows how many parts of the government. But he is the one who is carrying out this just inhumane immigration policy, where you got people rounded up off the streets without any due process at all and then shipped out of the country to places that they have never been before. We've got federal agents rolling around into communities and doling out violence indiscriminately. I mean, it's pretty akin to what the Nazis were doing back in Nazi Germany. So give me a fucking break. Stop. Man, I just had a brain fart. Stop clutching your pearls, Laura, and get it to fucking together. You guys are the biggest snowflakes that I have ever seen in my life. Let's move on to James Lankford, because this is another thing that Republicans, I mean, I guess they've been doing it for many years now. But the way that these people try to rewrite history, it is just downright appalling, especially coming from somebody like James Lankford, of all people.
The president for years has said, hey, this was unjust. I think now history has proven the Russiagate was a hoax. It was actually formed by James Comey and Brennan and others that were behind the scenes on it to be able to push a narrative that they knew at the time was false or suspected could be false. And the president's trying to be able to come and say, I want justice like every other American.
Russiagate was not a hoax. We had multiple investigations into the Trump-Russia collusion stuff, and each and every time they were able to come back and say that this was not a politically motivated attack. This was not a hoax. Who was it? Robert Mueller, who returned multiple indictments, secured multiple convictions in this investigation. Russia was not a hoax. But this has been one of the main things that the MAGA movement has been trying to do. And now Donald Trump is trying to seek, $230-some million from the Justice Department for saying that, investigating him with this Russia stuff and all of these other investigations because he is the most lawless president that this country's ever seen. Well, then somehow that was wrong, and that we now need to compensate Donald Trump for all of these different valid investigations that were carried out because of him and the actions that he did. And now you've got people like James Langford going out there and saying that, yeah, the Russiagate stuff, that was a hoax. When there was multiple indictments, multiple convictions, we know that people in the Trump campaign were colluding with people of Russia. It is fact at this point. And Donald Trump's own people have looked at this and come to the same damn conclusions. So for them to continue to try to rewrite history, it just blows my fucking mind. Let's go to move on to Michael Ruley, I think is his name is. Trying to say that Jack Smith, he's committed treason.
I think Lindsey Graham said it best in committee. He says, you got our records, Grassley's records, elected senators. There's only 100 senators that are in this country, and they actually spied on them. And he thinks that's just like when they raided Mar-a-Lago and they found nothing. How dare they? They will kill the republic. It is almost treasonous. He is completely wrong. What he did is criminal, and we're not going to stop. You have no right to go to members of Congress and investigate them for no reason at all. We're not going to put up with this. It is not a banana republic. This is the greatest republic ever. How dare him? He is going to be under the microscope, and we will discover everything that he did. He should be shamed.
Well, that was quite a performance, was it not? I mean, people, January 6th happened. Donald Trump riled up a whole bunch of his supporters and sent them down to the Capitol to try to stop a free and fair election. And they were successful in doing so. They were successful in delaying the certification of the vote. And Merrick Garland just slow walked everything. Trump should have been in jail, or at least indicted or convicted before he was even able to run for president for the second time. But that didn't end up happening. But now that he is back in office, they're trying to say that because Jack Smith looked into some of the collaborators of January 6th, that is somehow Jack Smith spying on these individuals. I'm sure this is something that you guys have probably come across. They are trying to say that Jack Smith was spying on conservative members of Congress, when that is not what happened at all. This was done under a legitimate investigation because the senators that he is pointing out here were working with Donald Trump to try to stop a free and fair election. That is what actually went down. And to try to say that Jack Smith is somehow guilty of treason because he was doing his job and investigating the most corrupt and piece of shit president that we have ever had in this country, it is all ludicrous. It is just ludicrous. These people were not spied on. They were complicit in Donald Trump's attempt to overturn an election. That is why their phone records were looked at. So everybody should remember that and be able to push back against that when these MAGA lunatics inevitably come at you with these twisted narratives. And for the final clip that I have for you guys this week, guys, this is awesome. I absolutely love this. Gavin Newsom does it again. The trolling continues. Let's take a look.
You will be seeing on my Patriot site new knee pads that I'll be sending out, the new signature series knee pads for all these CEOs, for the University of Virginia that I'll add to the list today, for bending their knee, for those law firms, the universities, media companies, as this guy's rolling back, rewriting history, putting us back to pre-1960s world, censoring historic facts. Wake up, everybody.
I absolutely love this shit. Break out the knee pads for all of these spineless fucks who have just capitulated to Donald Trump and his MAGA movement. Every single one of these people should be shamed. They should be mocked and ridiculed for rolling over and being complicit in the authoritarian takeover. I absolutely love this. We are seeing it all over the country, whether we're talking about news stations, whether we're talking about universities. One of the things that Gavin Newsom did down in California was threaten those same universities. Let me take a step back for just a moment. The Trump administration is trying to get universities to comply with this compact of sorts. And it's basically some ideological thing that they are trying to force upon these universities. And so Gavin Newsom came out and said, hey, these universities down in California, if you comply, if you sign up with this authoritarian wannabe and you sign up to his compact, well, then you can kiss all of your funding from California State goodbye. And unfortunately, we are living in a world where that type of fighting fire with fire is necessary, because we have seen time and time and time again all of these powerful individuals just rolling over and letting Donald Trump walk right over the top of them without any pushback at all. And in most cases, it doesn't even get them anywhere. I mean, just look at what happened to ABC. They capitulated. They ended up paying, the $15 million because of something that George Stephanopoulos said on his show. They capitulate, and now Donald Trump just wants to take more and more and more from them. That is why we say you cannot obey in advance. You've got to push back against this wannabe tyrant, because nothing you ever give will be enough. He will just continue to come back and take more and more and more and more. I mean, so good on Gavin Newsom. This is the exact right thing that we need in this moment. And finally, we have a Democratic leader who is stepping up. He's holding up a mirror to this MAGA movement and is trying to fight fire with fire. I think that this is the absolute right thing to do. I absolutely love that he is calling it what it is, saying that every single one of these fucks needs to be issued these Donald Trump knee pads. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Keep it up, Gavin Newsom. So those are the clips that I had for you guys this week. Hope everybody is doing pretty good out there. It was a chaotic week, but like I said, the No Kings protest, guys, was an overwhelming success. I think this administration is shitting the bed right now because they are underwater on every single issue. They know that what they are doing is unpopular, and I think that they are starting to panic a little bit. And so I think we need to take this No Kings momentum and continue it forward. Get involved in your local Democratic groups. Get involved with your local mutual aid groups. Get involved in any way that you know how, so we can continue to push back against the authoritarian regime. One of the greatest things you can do is, if you see ICE rolling through your neighborhoods, bear witness to their actions. Break out your phone, record it, send it to your local news stations. Make sure that we are documenting as much as we can of this fascist bullshit, because that is exactly what it is. And one day, hopefully there will be a reckoning, and these motherfuckers will be held accountable. So I will leave it there for now, guys. If you guys got anything out of this video, please do remember to smash that like button and subscribe. Maybe share with a friend or two. I'd very much appreciate that. We are trying to build something here on the left that pushes back against this MAGA media machine that just launders all of this terrible behavior for the Trump administration every single day. So if you do like what I do, please do remember to smash that subscribe button. And if you guys want to go a step above and beyond that, you can actually help me produce these videos by becoming a member right here on YouTube for as little as $3 a month. Or you can head over to politiscape.substack.com, where you can have my content delivered directly to your inbox every single day without the doom scrolling, without the algorithms. And the cool part about Substack, guys, is I own the data over there, which means if the Trump administration decides to start targeting these platforms, I will have a way to reach you over there. So subscribing over on Substack is a huge, huge win for me. So until next one, guys, everybody keep your chin up. Hope everybody's doing well out there, and I will see you guys next week.